Hello, welcome to episode 59 of the Epic Film Challenge 2, 1,001 movies you must see before you die. Another Alfred Hitchcock film, but one from the 30s this time, Sabotage from 1936. I think this is the first Hitchcock film I've seen from his kind of British period when he was still working where he was from, the UK, and it's a film set in London, Sabotage. Now, for me, I just thought this film would be kind of, you know, another really good Hitchcock film. I was not expecting what I saw, and what I saw, yeah, I'll be damned if it's not one of my favourite Hitchcock films now. I absolutely fell in love with this, just like lock, stock and barrel. It was just brilliant. And the more it went on, the more I loved it. I loved the aesthetic of it, I loved the feel of it, I loved where it went. There's some brilliant scenes in there. The storyline is basically set around this small London cinema, run by this European man, who has an American wife who's quite a bit younger than him, and she has a younger brother too. The only thing I'll criticise the film is that you have this European guy who runs this cinema, and maybe is kind of doing some kind of shady stuff, you know, maybe kind of cloak and daggers kind of stuff, you know, that's where the sabotage comes into it a little bit. And his wife, who doesn't know anything about this, she's American and just came over to the UK a year previously, but her younger brother, who's like a teenager, is kind of your typical London kid, got a London accent and everything. So I don't know where that came from. Maybe he just kind of acquired it over the year that they'd stayed there. That's entirely possible. Anyway, and we have another character who's kind of central to the film, I feel, who works just outside the cinema at a fruit and veg shop, or fruit and veg stand in a London street. And I just loved the kind of London aesthetic of this, just all the side characters that pop up throughout the film, lots of great little moments of humour. You know, there's a scene inside an aquarium, and we just get this random shot of a father and his daughter looking at these fish, and she's like, "Dad, you know, why are the fish hiccuping?" And he's like, well, you'd be hiccuping if you were eating ants' eggs, like just like the accents, even the subtitles of the film. Because the audio was, I had to kind of pump it up a little bit. The audio hadn't aged the best, so I had the subtitles on, and there's bits where it's like, oh, you can wash it off, and they'd spell it ORF instead of OFF, you know. And I loved how the subtitles were. This is completely off the point in the film, but I loved how the subtitles on the Blu-ray were they kind of worked within the kind of London accents and stuff. But there's loads of little moments, like there's a woman who comes into this bird shop with a bird cage and a canary, and she's pissed off because the canary won't sing to her, and she wants a refund. And that scene doesn't need to be in the film, but it's there and it works. It's this short little comedic scene, and I loved how the film balanced these kind of tense, dramatic moments of kind of, you know, maybe spies, perhaps. You know, I don't want to go into the plot too much, but just this kind of, you know, cloak and dagger stuff, and it would have weight as a kind of dramatic plot. But then you'd have these moments of comedy that weren't overbearing; they were more incidental moments of kind of just normal people. And you know, I love that the old London feel to it. I love how the film opened, where a kind of bit of machinery is kind of sabotaged with sand, and so all the lights go out in London, and you see all these people leaving the underground, and they're laughing and joking and lighting matches and stuff and having fun. And I thought, wow, things were different back then, because if you're talking about the UK, people would be kicking off if the lights went out. And sure enough, we cut to the cinema where all the angry customers are outside saying, "We want our money back," you know. I just thought, there you go, there's the UK, there's the moaning, complaining UK that I know and love. It was still there in the 30s. That was fun. But I love the location of the cinema, the fact we'd see films every now and again. There's like this short cartoon that I believe in the opening credits said that the cartoon secrets were provided by Walt Disney. That's kind of cool. But there are two big scenes in this film. I might even go to spoiler talk, that just blew me away for two very different reasons. One, just the editing was phenomenal, the build-up of suspense. I know that people call Alfred Hitchcock the master of suspense, but I didn't realize he'd mastered it this well, this early on. Holy shit, the scene on the bus, if you've seen the film. Wow! Like, I actually said out loud, holy shit! I mean, I was loving this film, you know, the first maybe, I guess, 45 minutes. Oh, this is great. It was really enjoyable, you know, but then it just kicked into high gear, and I couldn't believe it. The acting I thought was really good, you know. I enjoyed the characters, and I enjoyed the character of the European guy, who was kind of getting involved in this kind of shady stuff, which he probably shouldn't have been. I sympathised with him because I could see that he was just trying to do something to kind of make his family work. But then I loved how my sympathy for him was completely flipped over at a certain key point in the film, because it kind of made me think I knew what this guy was all about, and then it told me, you don't know what this guy is all about. He will go this far. And that I thought was great. So I'll do a little bit of spoiler talk, but is it a film you must see before you die? Absolutely. Definitely check it out. It's a great Hitchcock film, but it's a great film in general. Now we're going to talk spoilers. Very briefly, the scene on the bus where the kid has got the package, I mean, just the whole build-up to it was just like nail-biting. But on the bus itself, it was building up, the clock was ticking, you see him looking out, the editing is phenomenal. And then the package blows up. I mean, I literally went like that. And I didn't move my hands for about a minute. And then you see the wreckage of the bus, this kid's been blown up. And I was just like that, I couldn't believe it, I almost teared up. I couldn't believe they went there. Because I just thought, in any other instance, you know, it's building up, you know, obviously the kid isn't going to get blown up by this bomb. There's even a cute little dog right next to her and an old lady. They killed them all. I couldn't believe it. And it was such a breath of fresh air, because I wasn't expecting it. And apparently Hitchcock said later on that he would have never done that now. I mean, apparently it was true to the book that it was based on, but he said that I would never build it up with that much suspense and then kill the boy. You know, I guess he kind of regretted that later on, and his idea is if you're going to build up that amount of suspense, you don't pay it off with killing the character, you know, and you kind of let him off the hook, I guess, was kind of his thinking. But, you know, he kind of regretted that, unfortunately, but I thought it was phenomenal. I love the way that the actress, Sylvia Sidney, her reaction to her brother's death was so underplayed, but so believable as well. She was in shock, and I loved her performance. And then the scene where she kills her husband, I mean, holy shit. She had her hands on that thing, and I was like, do it, just do it, you know, because by that point he'd flipped, you know, he'd sent this kid out with the bomb, and I just thought, you piece of fucking shit. I couldn't believe it. I thought I knew the character, I didn't. He was willing to be that ruthless, and just the fact that after the kid was dead, he was like, well, you got to pull yourself together. Just so cold-hearted, and I just wanted her to stab him, and she did. And the way they built up to it, oh my god, it was perfect. And just like, oh my god, where is this going? And just the ending with, oh, what's going to happen? Phenomenal. I like the guy who played the undercover cop working at the fruit and veg shop. He was really good too. But really, I think Sylvia Sidney was really great in this film, and the guy who plays the European main character, well, one of the main characters, Oskar Homolka, he was fantastic too. Now, one thing I want to say is that Sylvia Sidney, I was looking at her page on IMDb, and it said she was in Beetlejuice. I was like, huh, I wonder who she played in Beetlejuice. I mean, this is from 1936. And I realised it's this woman. Holy shit, it's Juno, the caseworker for the dead from Beetlejuice. Mind blown. I can't wait to watch this film again, knowing that it's her. Like, unbelievable. It's this girl right here. But Sabotage, I loved it. Full marks. Absolutely full marks. I can't wait to see it again. It's only like an hour and 15 minutes. It felt like the best hour and 15-minute film I've ever seen. It was just done so well. Well, the best hour and 15-minute film with sound that I've ever seen. We're not talking about silent films here as well, because that's a whole other ball game. But yeah, Sabotage, I really wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. Awesome. Really, really recommend it. Although, if you're at this point in the video, I've already spoiled it, so I don't need to recommend it to you. But there you go. Thanks for watching.